Hey techies, welcome to Elephant Code. If you are new to the channel, do not forget to like, share and subscribe. You are watching a video from the PySpark playlist.
So today we will be checking how we can access the column in PySpark Dataframe through different ways. So to do this, we can directly go to the practical part and we can check there itself. So here for this, let me create one code file. I'll say that ways to access column in Spark Dataframe. Okay. So here what we can do, we can take this previous code and we will just delete everything except we'll just keep the template. Okay, I'm deleting everything. Pass, pass, okay, pass. So now what I'm doing here, so this is my template ready. So here what I will do, here I will create some data. So let's say self dot data equal to, because we are trying to access the column from the PySpark data frame. So first we need to create the data. So we'll try to create a complex data, but in a very simpler way. Okay, so we won't be using the row class, or let's say struct type, struct field, schema definition and all. We'll just make it very, very simple. Okay, so we'll say kind of data. So we'll say one employee name, maybe this, and then we'll say address. For address we can say current city, and we'll say Mumbai, then we'll say permanent city, we'll say Ahmedabad, HMEDABAD, Ahmedabad. Okay, and then we'll try to create few more record. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let me make 2, 3, 4, and here I'll just name it. Permanent city could be Bhopal. Permanent city could be Pune. Here I can give Delhi. Okay, so this is my data ready. I'll just create a kind of schema here, simple dot schema. So I'll be defining a very simple schema here. I'll say that ID. I'll say name. I'll say address. So these are the three DRSS address. These are the three column which are there. So now to get the data, I will be writing a function here, get df from nested data. So I'll say that df is equal to spark context dot create data frame, and then I'll pass data equal to self dot data, and I'll pass schema schema equal to self dot schema. Okay, so now this is my data frame which is being created with the help of this data and this simple schema, and then I'll try to return this data frame. uh, okay, I think there's some indentation problem. uh, I'll go here and okay, return df. Okay, so now here I'm coming and I say object equal to this, and then I'll say that object, you get this object from this particular function. Okay, so I'll say that df dot show. Okay, yeah, okay, and just trying to run the program to see whether we are getting the data which we have defined in this data frame, Spark data frame. So once we get the data, we will try to access the column inside the data. Okay, and this is a nested data structure. For the address, we have Okay, so now we can see that we have the we have the data, ID, name, and address. Okay, so now we need to select the column. So here we can select the column as ID, as name, like this. So this is one way. The other way, and we also need to show it. Okay, and the other way to do it, select, we can do df dot id, df dot name, like this we can do. Then we have another way where we say df of id, df of name. Okay, so this way also we can do it. Okay, and thereafter we can also you know uh, do the nested selection. Okay, we can do it with the help of column function as well. So we need to import the column function. So the column function is available in PySpark.sql dot functions import call. So I can come here df dot select, and then I'll say call of id and call of name. So this way also we can do it. So here we can see that we have used four different way. We can directly give the name in the double quote format. We can also access the column name with the help of data frame dot column name. We can also access the column with the help of data frame and then square bracket column name, and then we can make use of column function to extract the column name from the data frame. Okay, so these are the four different way with which we can access the column data. So let us execute this code to see. Um, yeah, great. So here we are receiving. Yeah. So here, yeah. So here we can see that with all these four different way, we can access the data from the PySpark data frame. Okay. Now we'll try to access the nested part. So print access the nested data. So for this, what we can do, df dot select. We can say df dot address dot current. Uh, what was the name? Let me check. Current city and permanent city. Okay, and address. So this is the address, and address consisting of these two. Okay, uh, current city, and then I have um, df dot address dot permanent city. So this is how you can access the nested column as well. Okay, so I forgot to put the show. Yeah, so here you can see that we have already able to access the current city as well as permanent city. Okay, so this way you can access the next nested column data as well, and you can do it with the help of this as well. I mean df dot select, and then with the help of call function, what you can do is address address dot let's say current city. Same way, call this way. Oops, my mistake. So this way also you can access the nested column dot show. Okay. So this is the second way with which you can access the nested column. So here in the first part we saw, I mean, how to access individual column from the Spark data frame. So there are four different way with which we can access the individual column. Okay, and yeah, so here you can see that we are able to access current city and permanent city with the help of column function as well. Okay, so let me just do a little revision on this practical. So what we did, we created a complex data frame, but with a very simple technique. So we created the data. For creating the data, we use list of tuples, and inside the tuples, we use a dictionary for storing the complex address field, which consists of multiple attribute. Okay, so this is how we laid out our data in the data variable, and then we put a very simple schema, which is just having the column name in it, ID, name, and address, whereas address is reflecting to current city and permanent city. And then with the help of Spark context, we create the data frame, giving the data, I mean, giving this self dot data to the data parameter, and the schema, this schema to the schema parameter. Okay, and then we try to access the data, uh, and thereafter we put our own technique. So there are four different way with which we can access the column information. So the first one is just giving the simple column name in double quote. The second way is you can access the column name with the help of Spark data frame dot column name way. And the third way is like you can have those column inside the square bracket of the data frame. And the fourth way is using column function, and this column function is available in PySpark.sql.functions module. So you need to import this column function, and then thereafter you can make use of this. And then we saw how to access the nested column, like address was the nested column in it. So to access the address, how we can access, I mean, we will use the data frame dot the nested column name and then the nested key name. Okay, so inside the dictionary we have this key current city and permanent city. So it will be going like this: df dot address dot current city. Okay, and if you want to use the column function to access the nested column, then you can make use of address dot current city. So address dot permanent city, like this you can access the nested column as well. So and thereafter, I mean, yeah, this is how you can access the column with all different ways in PySpark. Okay, so that's all for today. So it's a kind of it's a quiz time.
Elephant quiz of the day. Which method is commonly used to access a single column in a Spark data frame? Option A, df.select. Option B, df.column. Option C, df.getColumn. Option D, df and in the square bracket column. Mention your answer in the comment section below. So that is it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Do subscribe Elephant Code for future updates.